Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of our Mystical Wellness podcast. Today, we are joined by a fantastic guest, and we're joined by Jane Osborne, who is going to share her fascinating story with us. How she dropped 1,000 feet in 6 seconds, survived, and received a message from Source. Jane is a world traveller, an event organiser, and one of the leading experts in past life regression. And her website is jane-osborne.com. So, Jane, thank you for joining us. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm really looking forward to this. Thanks for inviting me on the podcast. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome. Tell us a bit about yourself. Where would you like to start?
Um, how it all began. I used to do sports at weekends, extreme sports, and I also used to work in the youth service. So I would be abseiling, caving, skiing, whatever. And one particular weekend, I was on my own that weekend, and it was a bank holiday Monday, and I decided that I would go up to the Peak District, Cat's Tour at the Peak District, um, to take some photographs. Only I decided I have actually trained at the parachute regiment in Lincoln with parachutes, but I was paragliding. So I was base jumping off cliff edges. So as I was base jumping off the cliff edges at Cat's Tor, obviously I soared up into the clouds, and I got about 1,500 foot when I had an almighty pull back, and it really jerked my body. And I was going about, I don't know, 25, 30 miles an hour at the time because I was in with the thermal. So I'm going at that speed and then being pulled straight back. That cracked my ribs. And as I turned around to see what was going on, and I can see it now, I had my parachute here, but I looked around and I could see that the emergency chute had opened up and it was hanging there on there. So it was a bit like a V, and I was dangling in the middle. And you have to think really fast. But I just got an all knowing that that parachute was coming for me. It was just like a massive, I knew everything all at once. And so I just watched, I looked at my watch, and by that time I was 1,000 foot, and the emergency chute came across the thermal, went down underneath the main one and back. So I just dropped 1,000 foot in 6 seconds. I broke most bones in my body. I crushed my spine, broke my neck. And the prognosis at the time was I would be paralyzed for life, which is what the consultant actually left me with. He left me in a room having just said, we're going to fix what we can, but you need to come to terms with you're paralyzed for life. This is it for you. You're never going to walk again, which is everything was a shock anyway. But to have that on top, and I thought this can't be true. And I lay there just with my eyes and my ears looking at the ceiling, listening to everybody out in the corridor. And I was thinking, this can't be it for me. I'm not going to be in this like dead coffin as I thought it was. So in my mind, I just screamed, I didn't sign up for this. God help me, get me out of here. Which he did, because the next minute I was in the corner of the room looking down at myself, which seemed really bizarre. That took me a while to get my bearings and realize that pump of meat there, because I was battered black and blue, because when I actually hit the ground I was still attached to the parachutes on a hill. So when they were engulfed with more air, they bounced me around, and I was completely battered. I just looked at myself thinking, I just don't know what, how she survived. And as I was looking down at myself, trying to think very logically, because I had a very logical mind at the time, I thought, well, I know that's me, but if that's me and I'm here, I must be dead. But if I'm dead, why am I thinking? It's all that process really quick. And then I got a voice in my head. It was like a speaker inside my head. And it said, Jane, what are you doing here? You need to go back. You're on the wrong path. You should be healing people through the power of the mind. And I mean, I was flat pat looking at the ceiling, but my whole body, my essence body, my soul body, was looking around thinking, where's all this coming from? And I got another message that we've been showing you in your dreams. Well, though over those couple of days where I was getting x-rayed and scanned and everything, obviously I was going in and out of sleep, and they did drug me to keep me very, very still because they weren't sure of how many bones I've broken. And when I'd wake up, I'd think, wow, that was a hell of a trip. Whatever juice they've got in these arms is taking me up with the fairies. But they said, no, it's us. We're showing you how you're going to heal. And I had dreams where I was male or female, a child or an adult, where I would be talking to people and putting my hands over them and lifting things out of them, which I thought was, difficult to process. And in my mind, all I said to myself was, because I was quite confused, what do you mean? I'm going to be doing all of this? And in my head, in my mind, I said to myself, whoever it is, if they think that I've studied law all these years to go la, they have got another thing coming. I ain't doing it.
That's
And with
hilarious.
and with that, I just heard you will, and there was a force like I've never felt before of me being squeezed back into the
Oh,
body
wow.
to all the pain, and then I just fell asleep. But after a couple of days, I'm trying to process all of this, thinking, what is this stuff? What is this, past life regression? Because I was told our souls hold receipts from lives, and we've got too much out of date stock. Basically, that's what I call it. Too
Oh,
much.
wow, that's fascinating. So how old
Um,
were you when that happened?
I
Sorry.
was 30 years old, and I had a lot of time on my hands. Obviously, after a couple of months of processing, I decided to, because I want fact, evidence, case studies. That's me, to a nutshell.
Yeah.
Before. So I got a friend to bring my laptop in, and we velcroed it onto a tilted coffee table so that I could read flat and do some research. And that's when I began to research the case studies with Dr. Vising, Stevenson, Michael Newton, Dr. Mooney, all the case studies of past lives, of parallel lives, of lives in different dimensions. And I thought, wow, I think there's something in this. So I began to research. Obviously, I had a lot of time on my hands. I studied. Um, I passed a few things. I've worked with the best, trained with the best, eventually, and here I am doing past life regression.
Oh, I love it. My personal work is quite multidimensional as well, so I'm trying to find out who I am in all these other dimensions or other aspects of existence. So, how do you know when something's like a parallel life or another dimension? How do you distinguish that with a client?
Well, if that's something that you wanted to know, you see, you have a past life regression. At the end, I take you to your soul family so you can meet your full soul family. And after that, I do a body scan, and you'll tell me where in your body you hold memories that you can release from previous lives. And at the end, I want from you, prior to the session, a list of questions. It
Mm,
could be she wants to know about her guides. Tell me she has a feeling or a sensation that she travels to different dimensions. What is that about? I
yeah,
want you talk to me throughout, you give me the answers. I just
yeah.
say something like, tell me about this fibromyalgia, go to the root cause, which will
Mm,
either be this life or a previous life.
yeah. Did it researching into all of that, did it help your body heal faster, do you think?
Yeah, because I was beginning to tune into myself, and because I could under hypnosis work with a client, and they would tell me where in the body they held memories. let's say in your heart, they say you got a heavy
Mm.
heart, too much on your shoulders,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. Can't stomach life. It's all here. Um, I began to focus on myself and start working down my body, and I had a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I mean, a full body injury like that, how long would that have taken to heal you? Like,
It took me nearly 5 years to learn to walk properly.
wow.
Obviously, I went from being in cast. I was in cast from my hip up to my shoulders, incorporating my chin.
Oh my
That was
gosh.
really difficult. And then I went from a wheelchair to crutches to um, throughout 27 operations to be here. Literally, my
20.
neck is screwed on in
Oh
two
my word.
places.
That's
So
me with my little foot injury. And I'm
I,
feeling
I'm
sorry for myself.
I know that I'm pretty lucky to be here, but the
Yeah.
amount of things that I mean, I get told that we are on here for life experiences. This is an emotional planet, and we come down for these exchanges and experiences of emotions. And depending on how well we do, is how well we ascend. If we don't, then we will repeat that pattern in another lifetime with someone else or maybe the same person. Um, but what I've been told is it's a lesson, not a life sentence. You're
Mm.
supposed to have the lesson of that breakup relationship, that cycle of relationships, or something like that, um, and learn from it and then drop it and move on. But we carry emotion with us.
Yeah.
And I got told you're not snails with a house on your back to carry all these emotions. And if we think about the animals, let's say the deer, when they fight, say, you'll see that eventually both of them will run off and they'll have
Mm.
a really good shake,
Yes,
and
exactly. And the birds as
out,
well. Yeah.
they shake out all their trauma, they forget about it, and they get on with life. Not
Yeah.
us. We
No.
hold it to remember that hurt,
Yeah.
which actually doesn't do us any good at all.
So I do Akashic record readings, and I notice the same things coming up. So I work with a particular card deck, and it's always lack and scarcity. There's always lack from the past that's affecting the present. Do you notice anything similar in the readings you do, in the regressions?
Yeah, sometimes there is a cycle of relationships. And I have a particular technique where if you are under regression and you tell me that let's say you're with a group and you're with a particular person, because the eyes are the windows to the soul, I want you
Mm.
to connect spiritually and telepathically with that soul, and you'll tell me whether they're in your life today. So your brother Jack might be your uncle Joseph in this life.
Right.
So we get all that interlinked because we're all learning at different levels. No one is any better
Mm.
than the other. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like because a lot of the people I work with are in America, and it's like you find people, you might be on a podcast or a group, but you see that person and you instantly know there's a connection, even though they're in another country. I'm finding that now. And for me, it's like Atlantis. Those same souls are here right now. Have
Yeah.
you had anybody talk about Atlantean memories or that kind of soul family?
Yes. I had a client, a young lady in Lincoln. She was a goddess at Atlantis times, and there was a god there that was quite envious of her gifts. That she was actually carrying a curse from him, which we found.
Mm.
So I can draw that energy to her voice to speak to me. So I was able to talk to the curse. It didn't want to be there. He was sent,
Yeah.
but he was there on behalf of this god that was envious of her. And I work with a lot of different energies in different dimensions. I never know where I'm going.
Yeah. Do you get anything elemental coming up, like the fairy kind of realms and things like
Yes, I
that?
do. And it's really weird because I will have a week of, say, um, people coming from Norway or extraterrestrials or astral traveling.
Mm.
And then, so I get a bunch all at once,
Yeah.
and I've had the similar thing there,
Yeah,
you
I
know.
love that. Get very excited now because I love working with like ET kind of energies and off-world energies. Do you
Well, I
find
was
there's particular ones that come in all the time?
yeah, well, I did. I was working at Hinckley at the Singing Bowl last
Mm.
week, and oh no, the week before I was there, I was doing a past life regression workshop, and we did a little interview with we put Stacey under, and she was actually talking about she was working with the elementals,
Mm.
and she said that they're actually here, they're all around us. Most are in nature, some are in our
Yeah.
walls. They don't come out because we intimidate them.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So there is that on the Singing Bowl Facebook page.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how far you'll have to go down for that, but yeah, the elementals, the dragons.
Mm.
They're all part on a different dimension, but we can. I mean, time is not linear as we know it. We can actually travel in several lifetimes
Mm.
at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can have 30% of your soul energy in that life, 20 in that one, and still have some in source.
Yeah. What have you noticed about yourself as you've been doing all this? Do you feel that you've got all these parallel lives going on for you?
Um, the one thing that I've learned really is to be kinder, because I see so much, and obviously I see both sides of the coin, and it's made me aware of judgment, which is particularly cruel to us down here, whether it's your parents, your peers, or whatever. I mean, that does have a very negative effect on the body and the mind.
Yeah, because me having this recent surgery, and I'm a very go, go, go kind of person like yourself, and I've had to just move into this state of allowance and know that there's limitations, and I just have to sit
Yeah,
and allow myself to receive. So, you being in a full body cast must have been quite a shock to your system of not being able to live the same lifestyle. So, you're like a
yeah.
different person now. Yeah,
Because at weekends I was an outdoor pursuit instructor, taking people up
right.
abseiling off cliff edges and then zilch, looking at the ceiling every day.
Yeah,
That was the most horrendous experience of patience, which I lacked. 100% patience I lacked,
yeah,
uh, because I was always so busy. I didn't want to sit still. And I think it forced me to think. I had no choice.
yeah.
It was like, nope, you've gone far enough. This is what you're doing.
Do you think it was contracted in, or was it a course correction?
Yeah, I've asked that. And they said to me that myself and an awful lot of other healers that are down on this planet at the moment, we chose to come down in preparation for
Mm.
this ascension that we're having. And they said the reason that you're down here is because they told me that I came from Sirius. I was
Okay.
one of the healers, and I contracted to come down to work with all the others, because they said if you look at this as a battleground where we're all vying for position all the time, people get battle worn, and they just have to have a little respite.
Yeah.
So we've got various levels of therapists, healers on earth that are there to support, whether it's reflexology, talking therapy, past life regression, ear acupuncture, whatever that person is comfortable with. They can come to us, they can release those emotions, and then go back in the battlefield.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so when you had all that time and you just had to allow yourself to think and plan, did you utilize any meditation or did you channel any energies for yourself?
Yes, I did. For some weird reason, because I never used to play it before. I'm interested in a varied music, but I just wanted to play jazz,
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
and I would have it on. At that time, there were CDs, no
Yeah.
Spotify, um, and I would just listen to jazz music. For some reason, it was very,
Yeah.
very calming. And
It's
that's what I
joyful,
want.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
that joy energy and that high vibrational
Mm.
frequencies.
It's almost like I felt very soothed by it. And like I say to a lot of people, whatever it is that changes your mood, it's good medicine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to come in tablet form. If you go out and you with friends and it changes your mood, that's good medicine. If you listen to music, if you have a hot bath, it's good medicine.
Yeah.
But most people tend to shoot for the cabinet. But actually, if they have a think, we can do other things which are
Mm.
less harmful to us.
What was the vision that kept you going through that period? Was there something that you wanted to do and it really helped that focus? When I get out of this, I'm going to do this thing, or
The one thing that I kept seeing most of all was me in different forms, male, female, child.
mm.
But I was always in front of somebody and I was scanning them with my hands
Wow.
and feeling, I mean, Reiki is life.
Mm.
And I would feel and work. I could always see myself doing this on people. Um, and I did wake up sometimes to dream what I thought were dreams where I was persecuted for my gift.
Yeah, that's amazing. I do a lot
And
of kind of integration work with different versions of me now. Um, and it's kind of like taking things from the past and integrating them into the present as well. And some of it's quite public. And but it's the versions of you that you've met from past life scenarios and where you were a healer in all the other lifetimes.
I've been a healer in most of them. In most of them, I've also been I've been with the Octarians and the Palladians. I
Mm.
tend to get um sometimes I wake up, when you think, "Oh, I'm just jump back in my body." Well, it's
Yeah,
because I have been astral traveling and I am getting information from a source, and then over the day all the little jigsaw pieces come together and I think, oh, that's from there, that's from there, that's from, and it
yeah.
makes sense. So I get the image and then I get my confirmation in dribs and drabs, probably because I am the person that questions the most.
Yeah. I think questioning is key, right, to
Oh,
unlocking a
it's
lot of these
perfect.
memories and things. Yeah. I
Yeah.
do that a lot more now than I used to. So for somebody that's looking to kind of start to recover memories, even from childhood, because I had a lot of missing memories from childhood, is that something that you could help them with?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because let me just show you this. See my mobile phone.
Mm,
We all know how to take pictures. Yeah.
yeah.
And those pictures go in our gallery where our images are kept.
Mm,
We do the same with our mind. So we take photographic images throughout every day in our life and we store them in our subconscious mind. We call it our imagination, but it is our imageation. It's our gallery of
right.
stored information about our life and previous lives. And every now and again, because our subconscious mind is there to protect us, let's say you were bit by a dog as a child,
Mm,
your subconscious mind will remember that as a survival technique. So you might be now 7 and a dog walks past. It doesn't matter whether it's big or small, it's a dog. And that
yeah.
red alert, that flash card will come forward like this, and you'll think, oh,
Mm,
it's because your subconscious mind has remembered that in your imagination, stored in your imagination,
yeah.
and it's bringing it forward to say, are you sure you want to stroke that dog? Remember what happened last time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So never ignore your imagination because it is your image in your subconscious mind coming forward to make you aware of something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you encountered anybody who's had memory wipes from like ETs and things like that or government projects? Because that's where my work goes.
I have been talking with somebody down in London that's I'm in talks with somebody down in London,
Mm,
and she believes that she's been chipped, and they're programming her because they can program
yeah,
through thought and everything else.
yeah.
Um, I've been researching it. That's really strange. You should ask that question. For about
Yeah.
the past 3 weeks, I'm talking to a couple of people,
Mm,
that use various techniques, and they sleep in like big tinfoil
mm,
um, sleeping bags just so
yeah,
that they can get protection.
yeah.
So, what is it that you know about that?
Well, the community that I'm in is it's hard, if you're new to it, it's hard for me to explain it for you not to think I'm a lunatic. But there is basically we're taken from childhood by UK government and other governments as well. We're put into secret projects and we're tortured and our mind is fractured so that we can be programmed to be super soldiers or scientists or slaves or whatever it is. But they take your DNA, they make clone copies of you as well, and put you back. And but they mind fracture you into different altered states. So that's the kind of thing that I'm personally recovering at the moment. But some of it is government and ET coordinated projects.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so the tracking and tracing that happens to all the star seeds as soon as they enter the planet, basically. But like the person in London, perhaps, yeah, they probably do have like radio frequency identification chips in them, RFID chips and things like that you can physically scan. When I was working on the nuclear power plant last year, they scanned me to find hidden mobile phone signatures. They scanned my knees, and my knees were like, so I've got chips in my knees. And they were like, oh, you can't have a phone in your knee, love, off you go. But I obviously know there's chips that have been placed in my knees now because it came up on the scan on both knees. So,
that'd be interesting. We'll have to put you under and ask
yeah.
your higher self.
Oh, I go much, much deeper.
Mm.
You can watch my YouTube. It goes really, really deep on that. I go galactically as well. Multiple versions of me across time and space. There's a lot going on there. I just wondered, have you had anything else like that? Because there's definitely ET involvement when it comes to mind wiping. So some people probably come forward and spoken about a presence in their room or thinking about getting abducted at night time. I wasn't expecting to talk to you about this, to be honest. But do you get
Yes,
many people talking about ETs?
there's a medium that contacted me. Her name is Indy Joe. She lives in Grantham, and
India Joe?
yeah,
Oh, I've heard of India Joe. She used to be on the Mind Body Spirit scene up
she
this
did,
way
she
years
did.
ago. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, beautiful woman.
yeah,
She contacted me. So she said, Jane, you need to come over. She says, I get up in the morning, go to Asda. I've lost hours,
yeah,
and I wake up and I'm in the car park thinking, what's happened to today?
yeah. She's got missing
To the
time.
point, she said, when I get there, I take a photograph of my mileage and the time,
Yeah,
just that's on my phone, just so I can check when I do
yeah.
wake up eventually that I'm not going crazy.
Okay.
So we went into this, we investigated it, and she was actually being visited by an alien race that were bringing her up to their mothership of 7 levels, and it's 7 levels of it's schooling really,
Mm,
but it's all basically about science and consciousness
mm.
and shape shifting and things.
Yeah,
But they told her that prior to coming to Earth, she had contracted to work with them, and her daughter and her granddaughter were also contracted to work with them.
yeah.
And although sometimes she found it frustrating, and she had contracted to have hybrids as well, and
Mm,
she'd got a couple of hybrids on the
yeah,
ship 7 levels, and we met one of her daughters there,
yeah.
because I said, if they're on the ship, let's go and find them, you know.
I also do get into that kind of work as well. So when we agree to make the babies and everything, you become what's called a cosmic mother,
Yeah,
and there could be hundreds of thousands of children, humanoid or hybrids that are just everywhere. It's mad. But these contracts, they can be voided out. You can literally stamp, 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 and void them out.
yeah,
Because they trick you, especially the Zeta Grey aliens. They trick you into signing these contracts while you're sleeping. They confuse you with things. So there could be hundreds of thousands of contracts that you need to actively stamp void, void, void. So that's some of the work that I do for my personal stuff and for others as well.
That
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
yeah. So you can definitely get past that. So I have had one QHHT session with a friend, but because I've got next level programming, shall we say, he couldn't get past a certain point. So I do have friends in America who are trained for people who are like abduction, super soldier, whatever, to get past that. Certain questions you'd need, yeah, to know about and stuff. So we can talk about that another time. But yeah, but that's quite fascinating. Yeah. Sorry, just took you off on a complete tangent there. I wasn't expecting to do that at all. Is there
Well,
anything? Yeah.
I travel in past lives and future lives and the galactics. I mean, I was
Yes.
speaking at the UFO conference in Glasgow
Oh, really? Oh, that's fascinating.
just a couple of months ago because I get a lot of information about the Galactic Federation,
Hmm.
the Council of Light, and all other, activities that are going on.
So is that coming through your clients or do you channel that directly?
No, I use the client's voice and I ask them to connect to
Yeah.
their universal knowledge and all the information that's coming down for them.
Yeah.
So, because each individual person has got their own story,
Hmm.
I mean, I could say, let's say, and I've heard this time and time again, oh, I went to see a medium and she said I was burnt as a witch.
Hmm.
Well, that's fine, but, you know, um, what did you learn from that? Who was your persecutor?
Yeah.
Are they in your life today in a different body? Are they still working with you? You know,
Hmm.
my regression isn't an hour, it's 2.5 hours because of the length of time
Yeah.
that I wouldn't say interrogate you, but I do question to get the answers because each one is different.
Yeah. That sounds really fascinating. Yeah, I wasn't expecting your work to go galactically because that's where my work kind of heads these days. Have you come across people that have had kind of entities within them? Anything like that? Has that come forward?
Yes, I have. When I was working with Indie Joe,
Mm.
she was, and it is on my YouTube channel. She began to talk about all the galactic beings are getting together and they're very, as she called, vexed. They're very
Mm.
vexed about the situation on Earth.
Yeah.
And she said, in particular, the orange one.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And what she meant was Trump. And then she
Yeah.
began to talk about Putin. And she said he has a walk in, It
Mm.
isn't him. He's got a walk in to do that job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I never know where I'm going, but it's always fascinating.
Yeah, I kind of connect into a lot of clones. So I understand that there are clone versions of both of those people. So sometimes when you say, oh, this person, then other people say, well, which version are you talking about? And you think, oh, okay. So there's different versions of them that are controlled by different kind of alliances and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't get too much into the political stuff myself, but there's already very much an ET control on the planet. It's already there. It's already in
There
the
is, and I've
background.
been told that the Greys,
Mm.
they were here before us, but we did come down to planet Earth.
Yeah.
We're on top. They are underground, but they sometimes come up and they can shapeshift.
Oh, right. Okay, that sounds
So
interesting.
they
Yeah.
can shapeshift, and they've
Yeah,
also been with DNA interbreeding hybrids with us. Uh,
for sure.
Most fascinating stuff that I've been,
Yeah.
privy to.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Yeah, so there's lots of different kind of guides and stuff that I have coming in. Do you work with any guides or guardians yourself personally?
I do work with the archangels.
Mm.
I do work a lot with the archangels. I work with the spiritual surgeons quite a lot. Um, and I work with Goddess Isis, obviously
Oh, right.
Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabrielle, whatever. But
Yeah.
I always have my anchor Goddess Isis.
Yeah.
and the spiritual surgeons, because sometimes we have to do a lot of work, you know,
Yeah.
when somebody has got a cycle of situations going on. I had a woman that came to me because she said, I got up one morning and I just got a message in my head. It is time to leave. She said, I've got 3 young children, but I knew that that power that was coming to me was stronger than myself.
Yeah.
So I managed to get somewhere and I moved out, which was quite devastating for her husband. And I think she was Iranian or something.
Wow.
And she said, my husband is like confused and gone mad.
Mm.
My family have disowned me, so has my church. I don't know what's going on. We went to a past life. Oh, she had a fear of towpaths, is what she told me
Oh.
on her list. She
Yeah.
went to a life in Holland. She told me that she was in a very coercive relationship. She had 3 boys, which were the same boys that she's got in this life.
Mm.
And I asked her to look at her husband, different features and everything, but it was the same soul
Yeah.
in that life. They'd come back for a sight, and I'll explain now. He was very, very controlling, wouldn't let her out, and the door was open on this particular time. He worked on the canals, hence the towpath. And she said she escaped and she ran down the towpath and thought, if I can just get on that barge, I'll be
Mm.
free. And she says, I went down. And as she looked, because you can see, I can ask them to look detached, like watching a movie from
Yeah.
above. He threw a knife at her. He stabbed her in the back. He killed her outright.
Gosh.
And she says, when I got back, I was so furious that
Mm.
I'd lost all that love as a mother, and those boys couldn't have that love. That when I got back, I was determined to go back and try again to sort the relationship out. So in that life, he took her life. In this one, she got away.
Wow. That's
So can you
amazing.
see how
Yeah.
she says, I had to agree to have the relationship again in order to end the contract.
Right.
So sometimes, when we think, oh, we failed on that, we didn't fail. We agreed to go back in for a little while, and when we got out, we survived.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I,
that really empowered her.
I see on your YouTube there's a video that's called The Earth Keepers. Have you ever heard of the Master of Observers?
That will be with Kevin Bailey works a lot with that. I don't know whether you've had him on your YouTube
No,
channel, but
no.
he's amazing. He is one of life's original earth keepers, and he's a shamanic healer, a
Mm.
brilliant shamanic healer. But he's just recently been to Roslin Castle, because he goes around to various sacred sites and starts healing the ground,
Yeah.
because our landscape and houses hold
Mm.
memory.
Yes. I agree totally. I did a house clearing for somebody recently, connecting into the spirit of the home, and the home itself was telling me that there was a lot of there was it was very poor basically in the times when that home was created, and it was still holding those kind of lack of abundance codes in the property, but the
Yeah,
property wanted to be abundant, but it couldn't because that was there, and I
it
had to
needs to
clear
let
that
go and be
out.
healed.
Yeah.
Well, there I
So
am doing
yeah.
it up, taking it up to be healed. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. So did you talk to somebody who told you how Atlantis was destroyed? What do you remember about the fall of Atlantis?
Well, they said that it's not completely destroyed. They've just gone underground.
Right, okay.
And within our lifetime, it will resurface as the plates shift.
Yeah,
So that's going to be quite interesting.
yeah. Yeah, that's definitely happening. It's definitely going on. Um, so
Well, is there not three volcanoes erupting at the moment around Russia?
yeah,
I mean, that's going to shift a few things.
yeah, there's definitely something going on in Russia because I actually had a vision come in of me on a plane, which is probably a clone aspect of me. And I was jumping out of this plane, but it was daylight. And when I asked where it was, I was told it was northeast Russia. So, and when I checked the map, I was just drawn to one particular place. When I zoomed in, there's a crater with a little tiny lake in the crater. And I thought if I was going to jump anywhere, I probably would go there because it's likely that there's an underground base or something. So that's massive. There's definitely stuff going on in Russia, which is unusual. Have
That's
you got,
quite interesting because
yeah.
I've been told also that there's bases in Alaska.
Oh, yes, that's true. And
Yeah,
Antarctica. Yes,
yeah.
that's true. I'm a moderator on the Typical Skeptic podcast. And so my friend Rob, he gets guests from all over the world and they go really deep onto the, the truth disclosure movement. We call it Full Disclosure Now kind of movement.
So it's
Uh,
called the typical.
Skeptic. Yeah, Typical Skeptic podcast. So I go on there and talk. So you can just request to be a guest on the show as well.
Well,
So
I went to the Freedom Festival in Leicester a couple of weeks ago with a very radical friend from London,
yeah,
and I love the variety
yeah,
of people. I mean, I don't like, I say the norm, the bouquets in this life. I like the variety, the radical, the
mm,
thinker, the philosopher. I love the questions, and
yeah.
the more questions I ask and I get the odd answer here and there, it actually just puts it all into a big cake and makes more questions.
Do you feel that the questions are coming through channeled? They're just inspired questions.
Yeah, and I also this is what I've also been told. There's an awful lot coming, an awful lot of information and technology coming down at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is information that we need right now for this planet. So that information is coming down to Earth, and it's a bit like um, the telephone,
Mm,
because there were two people designing the telephone at the same time.
yeah.
It's whoever absorbs that information they want to work with
Yeah.
to get things rolling.
That's fascinating. Dana, did you have any questions for Jane? You can use your microphone or the chat.
Oh, hi. Sorry. No, I don't have any questions. I find it very interesting, though.
Mm.
Very fascinating story. But no, I don't have any questions. Thank you
Okay.
for sharing.
Oh, no problem. I was just wondering there. Oh, my screen. That's cool. Yeah. So, was there anything else that you wanted to bring in that we haven't talked about?
Let me think. We've done the ETs, we've done different planets.
Oh, actually, can we talk a bit more about planets? So, do
Mhm.
you find do you ever get people talking to you about Mars?
Yes, I've been told that we were originally on Mars, but
Mm,
it got destroyed, and
okay.
so we that's why we had an agreement with the reptilians that they would go underground and we would be on the surface of Earth.
Mm,
But the information is that we have really got to be mindful about how we are using and abusing the earth.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether you know that there is a frequency that our mind uses. Yeah, it's a very
Okay.
low frequency and scientifically proven. This is not gaga stuff. Scientifically proven that low frequency is exactly the same frequency that the earth itself has,
Mm,
which is why when we take off our shoes and we're in nature, we blend and we balance and we're grounded with that frequency.
yeah.
Yeah. But we're tilting things out of balance. And the thing is, they said that if we tilt Earth out of balance, the reason they're coming down and trying to support us is not because they just want us to support us on Earth, but if we damage Earth and change the pressure in the atmosphere and everything else, it will change everything else. So
Yeah.
what we do here has a huge effect on everything else.
Yeah. What happens on this planet has a massive ripple effect on the whole galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're really our prime planet.
And
So
they
there's a lot
they
of
told me,
people watching.
if one person prays, we can see that light. But if a group of people pray, let's say at a
Yeah.
munda, at a temple or whatever, it is a beam.
Mm.
So, if we want to make a change, like we all pray together, like in COVID, we all applauded together. I
Yeah.
was told that that was heard throughout the universe.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it was the same in America when they were having those kind of what was it, Dana? Was it hurricanes? And everybody was doing meditations, bringing in the light and redirecting all the hurricanes and things like that that was going on. So the collective light workers were getting together and doing things all over the planet, and it was reducing it from like high level to lower levels, and so we have a massive impact on the planet for
Yeah,
sure.
and
Yeah.
it's amazing how we can shift that. I do some work with I did it at Hinckley. I have a group of people. They don't know how many other people are behind them.
Mm.
They just start with 2 people, and then I just ask people to walk behind, and I'll put a few behind. And there'll be one row longer than the next,
Mm.
and you can see the row tilting forward
Yeah.
because the power of the energy is moving them forward, and the person at the front is gripping on with their toes because they're being pushed.
Oh wow.
And that is the
Mm.
power that we have, that we can just push out, because I just ask them to push their energy forward, and you see everybody's whoa, and they're thinking, what's happening? This is freaking out, you know?
Yeah, tell us
And
more about the events that you do.
there I do a couple of wellbeing events. Basically, it started as a couple of us therapists wanted locally to be known and to give therapy to local people at a reasonable price. And that's how it all started. So I've got an event at Kirkby in Ashfield, 28th of September, and I've got an event on the 18th of October at Utoxeter. I always sponsor a charity. I'm
Mm.
sponsoring Children's Air Ambulance for Utoxeter, and I've got the lovely woman Olivia Beardsmore, the firework trainer. We're having a big firewalk challenge on the day. And do you know what is really special for me? I've got this event going on, and obviously we're trying to raise money for the firewalk challenge, etc., etc. And one of my grandsons came to me, and it was just after the school disaster, the event with the school bus going down.
Yeah.
And he said to me, Mama, that's what he calls me. He said, I've just been on my school trip. He's only 11. I've just been on my school trip, he said. And I got home to tell I couldn't wait to get home to tell my mum stories. That mum is not having stories anymore, is she?
Oh
And I said, no, she isn't,
gosh.
darling, but she will have lots of dreams, nice dreams. And I said that, the air ambulance were there and everything. He said, you've got that at your show, haven't you? I'm going to do a firewalk for all the children. He said, we need to make a change.
Mm.
And I was like,
That's
seriously? Like,
amazing.
he's 11. And I said, are you
Yeah.
sure? Because, and he said, no, I'm doing it.
Wow,
And
that's
it's
a really special person right there. Goodness
just
me.
the strength. And it's
Yeah.
children that are going to change everything, and they make us think differently.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They are
lovely.
the ones that are changing us.
Mm. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Have you got anything else coming up that you want to talk about before we finish?
I've got a couple of speaking slots on cruises.
Cruises, where are they going?
Well, the last one that I just did was a Caribbean
Oh,
cruise.
amazing.
I'm actually going on a alternative psychic cruise in September. But I'm also going to the Heliar Festival at Shetland
Okay,
with the
wow.
cruise Balmoral.
Yeah.
And that's the weekend where everybody's a Viking, and we get the ships and we push them out. So I've got speaking slots there, because it's right down my
No,
right down my street,
I've
isn't it?
never thought about anything like that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I
well,
love to travel. Yeah.
what they do is they make these boats, they put the bodies in and make a fire and ship them out, and the
Yeah.
Norse god and all that. So that's just down my street. So I'll be
Yeah.
speaking on that cruise ship that's going to the Shetlands.
Oh wow, God, I'd love to do something like that.
It's not very
Ooh.
often, and
Yeah.
sometimes, to be fair, if I have been on board a cruise because I'm on holiday and there's the odd extra sea day, let's say
Yeah.
an engine failure, so we have to miss a port or something, I just pop in and say, oh, I can do something for you in a bar, I can do meditation, I can do
Yeah.
whatever. And yeah, I sneak in and get a slot.
Oh, that sounds so good. Have you written a book?
I've got a couple of books.
Have you? Sorry, I didn't see on your website.
Yeah, I've got 3
Yeah.
books.
Oh.
This is my first book,
Yeah.
Exploring Past Lives. And because I was very factual in my work before, it's got the science, the religion, the science, the history, and case studies in this book. That's Exploring Past Lives.
Yeah.
Exploring Past Lives 2 are lots of stories, and these are my own case notes, because what I like is I don't just want somebody to give me a story. I want dates, names, the year, the country,
Yeah.
so I can Google it and I can look for the evidence.
Right.
Like I was at Hinckley, and this one lady, she had what did she have a fear of? I can't remember. Oh, she couldn't bear to have her children out of her sight. And she went to the root cause, and she told me that she was a male in Switzerland. So I tried to hone in north, south, east, west, and it was the south of Switzerland. I think she said it was 1843, if I remember rightly. And I said, tell me what's happening. She says, there's just been a massive fire. She says, I'm just, as the male, I'm looking at the building and all my family are gone.
Wow.
And that is why she'd got this, couldn't let her children out of her sight.
Yeah.
Anxiousness, over anxious mummy today. And when she came out of the session, Stacey was doing a service at the time. Terry Ann was on a phone putting in South Switzerland fire 1843, and she went like this. I said, what's the matter? She showed it me. It was a great fire in Switzerland where I think it was 26,000 people lost their lives.
Gosh. Oh, I love
That's
that you can track it back. Love that.
that's the
Yeah.
kind of evidence that I want. If somebody's in the army, I want to know their rank, their number. If
Mm.
they're on a ship, I want to know the name of the ship, and I want to know the year, because if they're telling me it went down, I'm going to Google it. I want to find
Yeah.
it, so that I'm taking the woo-woo, if you like,
Yeah.
out of this. There's nothing woo-woo about it.
Mm.
They are all memories that we've accumulated.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just store them in the wrong place.
Have you ever been able to solve a mystery from a regression?
Yes, quite a few.
That's
Quite a
amazing.
few.
Is that in
Some
your
of them are
books? Yeah.
very family personal, if you like.
Mm.
Especially if it comes to family situations and wills, and where certain things are kept,
Oh, interesting.
and
Wills. Yeah.
who's had whatever. That, yes, but there are some things aren't really
Yeah.
to be put out into the public. Yeah,
No.
but yeah, definitely,
Yeah. That's
yeah.
fascinating, isn't it? Because I know
Mm.
there's a lady that I know called Alison Dean who's a psychic, and she
Alison,
started.
she lives up the road here. She
Oh, right,
lives in
because
Leicester
yes, so
now.
she was solving
Yeah,
a murder.
yeah.
Yeah, from
The
channeling.
murder in Cyprus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing. And there was another one as well. But yes, yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
but
I've not had Alison on. I do plan to have her on. Yeah.
this it's more or less like remote viewing. The
Yeah.
government have been using gifted people like you and me for years and years,
Yeah.
doing remote viewing. It's just that they don't want all of us to have that gift,
Yeah.
because they want to hone in on it, you know?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, this has been so amazing. let everybody know how they can connect with you, what your website is and that kind of thing.
My website is www.jane-osborne without a U, Osborne, and go onto my website. You'll see a few videos and some stories. Feel free to contact me at any time. I've got a YouTube channel with about 600 videos on how I work. That's quite fascinating. So if you go to my Jane Osborne Past Life Regression, you'll see a circle picture. Go on that and go to videos, and there's a whole ruck of different ones, from aliens to different dimensions, you know.
Yeah, it looks amazing. I'm going to tag it all in, but I'll send you the recording as well if you send.
Well, I can
I'll
tell
send
you
an email.
about this book, Exploring Past Lives.
Yeah.
This Exploring Past Lives, I've actually put in an ebook on a download on my website for £4.95. So it's only the price of a magazine. Yeah. But you can get that entire book. It's in my shop on my website, and every case there is mine and Googled, and every fact in there is correct because I've measured everything. It's just something that I love, it that I'm a doubting Thomas still, and I'm always looking for evidence, because I wouldn't want to be just a total believer and be blinded, and not actually ask any questions. I think it's really important that we ask questions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, this is so good. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.